All right, so in this video, I'm going to talk about how to use the new inventory-minded marketing planner template along with the inventory planner checklist. So I'm going to show you these two documents. We've got the Amazon Inventory Planner, which is a checklist that takes you through the process of working with marketing, inventory, and cash flow or your accounting team. And then the other document we're going to be reviewing is the Amazon Marketing Planner. The Amazon Marketing Planner and the Inventory Planner are to be used in conjunction with each other to help to coordinate marketing and inventory and get them working together. You can learn more about inventory-minded marketing as a technique by clicking on this link here, Inventory-Minded Marketing. It will take you to a blog post on our website that talks about inventory-minded marketing, how it can benefit you by using these techniques. Simply organizing your business, it's really organizing to increase profit, efficiency, and the ability to scale along with increasing your cash flow. All right, so we're going to start with the Amazon Inventory Planner. You're gonna see that this planner features 3 different areas. If you look down at the bottom, it features marketing, inventory, and cash flow. These are the 3 different things that need to be coordinated or sunk up in order to really achieve scale. If one piece of this puzzle makes a mistake, the others are going to suffer, right? If inventory stocks out, the marketing team is going to suffer, the cash flow is going to suffer. If cash flow is suffering, the inventory will not be able to be purchased, and of course then you can't market. And if marketing over markets the inventory into a stock out, then inventory and cash flow suffer. So everything needs to work together to be able to properly scale and to run a successful business. And that's what this particular document is to help you to do. It's essentially a checklist. So we're going to start with marketing. Marketing develops the plan and looks at, say, the next 3, 6, 12 months forward and figures out what they're going to be doing with their entire catalog to increase sales. And this is the first checklist to make sure that you're not missing out on any opportunities. So you're going to consider, are there any lightning deals that you have, or 7-day deals, any deals that you have planned over the next several months? Are you going to do any PPC campaigns to increase sales, right? Are you going to aggressively try to increase sales by 10%, by 15%? Are you going to do any Facebook ads? Are you going to work with any influencers? Is there anything else that you're doing on a marketing level that is going to potentially affect your sales velocity? Once that is planned out, you then send it to the inventory team. Inventory takes the marketing plan, they look at the sales velocity, they look at the buffer stock needed, right? The amount of stock needed to protect the inventory from stocking out, look at the lead times and then any seasonality coming up, and analyzes all of that, and then gets into projecting, right? Projecting sales, putting together purchase orders, making sure that all of the SKUs are being accounted for in this inventory plan, looks at the order dates, by when do they need to order, and then how much do they need to order, what's the order quantity. Once that plan is developed, that plan would go to your accounting team, project any cash flow needs. The sales projections could be done. What is the available cash we have now? What is the available credit we have? Maybe we have some lines of credit that we need to use to make these purchases. What expenses do we have, and what pending POs do we have that we're going to have to pay on? Anything that's coming due in the future. Then they will look at the potential to secure any funding that's needed, figure out any orders that need to be delayed. Maybe there are orders that you can't afford right now, so you can put them off. Any orders that need to be decreased, if you don't have enough cash flow, what are those products that you can order smaller orders of? Any orders that need to be canceled, maybe you don't need specific products, right? You want to maybe pay for your big sellers and then hold off on ordering some of your slower sellers. And then once that is all put together, you would then send it to the inventory team, an adjusted report of what can be done based on the cash that's available. So far we've got the marketing plan, what marketing wants to do, inventory then adjusts it for what is possible to be done, sends it to cash flow then adjusts that inventory plan for what is possible on a cash flow level, then it goes back to the inventory team. And the inventory team then makes their adjustments based on what cash flow has said is possible. They review the revisions and then they add that to their plan to scale, right? We'll call the final result a plan to scale. Then this plan goes back to the marketing team for a final review. They review revisions, adjust their plans accordingly, and add that to their own scale plan. And then you have a final scale plan that basically combines all plans together, and you can really and truly start scaling with all of these teams in sync. Now, how do we take this data and actually put it into the real world? For that, we would want to jump over to our Amazon Marketing Planner. And of course, you'll want to make your own copy. Make sure you go up to File and you select Make a Copy. And then you may want to add additional tabs for each file that you make. So if you're doing this on a weekly basis, if you're doing this on a monthly basis, you could make a different tab for each one of those weeks. So of course we're going to be embedding this how-to video right here, so you can always access this and come back to this if you need to. Plug in your date right here, and then you're going to get into actually building out the plan. So this is what your marketing team would be using to communicate to your inventory team. The inventory team is then going to take the data that the marketing team plugs into this planner and moves it into either SoStocked or some other spreadsheet that you have that you're using for planning. I'm going to use SoStocked as an example. So within SoStocked, you will see that you have all of your velocity here, and you have your additional tools for marketing, right? You have additional sales growth, you have your lightning deals, you have your seasonal sales spikes, and all of that is going to correlate with the template that we have created. So we would start with an ASIN, we'd plug in an ASIN, we'd plug in a SKU potentially, right? We either need an ASIN or a SKU. ASIN would be best, as that is what is used most often in SoStocked, but you can also use a SKU. And then you select your marketplace or your region. Now some people have their products grouped by region. You could select, for example, North America, so that when we tell the inventory team the changes that we want to put in place, we know what region we are talking about. Then you would select velocity. So if you have, for example, a combination of 90, 60, and 30 days, you would plug that in there. And then within SoStocked, the inventory team would know that 90, 60, and 30 days should be the ones that are selected. If you're not using this velocity calculation, you may be using something else. You will choose one of these three for your velocity calculation. It would only be one of three. Maybe you're using a manual velocity, for example, launching a new product, and this is a daily velocity. That is reflected here in the manual velocity, and then the inventory team could plug in 20 units a day right there. If you wanted to use last year's sales, all you would have to do would be to select a check mark on this last year's sales section, and then the inventory team would select last year's sales here, and that's all that would be needed. Of course, any of this would need to be saved and applied. From there, you would go into trend. Leave this blank if you do not want to include a trend, but if you do want to include a trend, you will see all of these choices here for date range and for compare to, and those relate to the trend in SoStocked. So the inventory team would open up the calculation variables and scroll down to trend. The trend is off. They would come in here, turn it on, and whatever was listed out in the planner would be what they would plug into here. After trend, you can go into additional sales growth. This is a percentage that can be plugged in to the software as well. So we'll take this 10% and we will go to the additional sales growth section, and we will plug in 10%, and then we will save that. After additional sales growth, you have lightning deals. This section covers lightning deals. We pick a date range and we pick a total number of units. You can say 1 day. You could say this is a 7-day deal perhaps. So, from the 15th to the 22nd, we'll do 1,000 units. And that can be added into SoStocked using the lightning deal section. So you can find the proper date and the total number of units and save that. Then you have seasonal sales spikes as the final tool. So we'll take these two dates, we'll take the description, we'll take the percentage, and we're going to plug them into our future seasonal sales spikes. Selecting the date range, the name, and of course the percentage. You can also do negative percentages, and those negative percentages can be indicated here. Now, if you have multiple different entries for the same ASIN, you would put those entries in here, such as we've done with the lightning deals, and then you can add to the ASIN section. You could either copy the same ASIN, or you could put same, whatever works for you, to indicate that the same ASIN is going to be utilized for several different sections, right? So you can say same, 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 and then you can add another ASIN. And then you can select the new territory and you can build the rest out accordingly. This combination of Amazon Marketing Planner, Amazon Inventory Planner, and the SoStocked system are really designed to help you to get marketing and inventory truly communicating, really apply what we call inventory-minded marketing so that everything works together to increase profitability, efficiency, cash flow, and your ability to truly scale your business.